Good morning, Grace. We are continuing our summer in the Psalms with Psalm 1. So if you want to take your Bible, turn to Psalm 1. And this is a psalm about two different ways of living within the will of God and living apart from God's will. And so it starts off in verse 1 like this. How happy is the one who does not walk in the advice of the wicked, or stand in the pathway with sinners, or sit in the company of mockers. Instead, his delight is in the Lord's instruction, and he meditates on it day and night. He is like a tree planted beside flowing streams that bears its fruit in season and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. And so for an example today, we're going to look at this nice garden box at Pastor Doug and Meg's house. So you can see we've got all kinds of healthy plants in here. We've got tomatoes and basil. And
that is some lovely gardening
some
right
flowers there. And
beautiful.
And so this box, this box represents God's will. And all the plants within God's will are thriving. They're healthy and green. They're producing fruit. And so you can see that when we are living within God's will, he takes care of us. Just like Pastor Doug and Meg, they water these plants. They trim off anything that's dead. They help these plants to grow as fruitful as possible. God will do the same. It says in verse 6 that he will watch over the way of the righteous. And so when we are living in his will, God will watch over us and help us to grow as healthy and fruitful as possible. But sometimes we might look out on the world and think, man, this box is constraining me. I wish I could just be free to do whatever I want. So what would that look like?
Yeah, so that looks like, hey, we uproot ourselves out of the box, because inside of the box, we think, hey, I got to follow all these rules and these stipulations when it comes to following Jesus Christ. And so, hey, we look outside of the box and we say, hey, it looks so much funner out there. Things look, my friends are doing things that I would like to do. They're watching movies that I would like to watch. They're going to parties and places that I would want to go to. So we feel like there's more freedom outside of the box. And so once we come out, we may seem like we still have some life. You see, this branch has some life. It still looks like it's green, it's flourishing and things like that. But the verse that Jordan just read says, over time, the way of the wicked, over time, hey, it leads to ruins. And so you first come out looking like this, but over time, as you stay outside of that box, you're not getting the nutrients, you're not getting fed and provided for, hey, the way of the wicked turns into ruin.
And so all of us at times are disobedient, and we all have followed the way of the wicked for a long time or a short time. But the good news is that Jesus never did. He was perfectly obedient. He always stayed within the will of God. Amen. And if we put our trust in him, he will cover our disobedience with his obedience, and we can be made right with God. And so that's what being righteous is. And like verse 6 says, the Lord watches over the way of the righteous. So if you will put your trust in God, he will free you up to obey him out of love and out of freedom, and not out of compulsion or duty. Yeah. And so to bring this home, we've got a chant. Pastor Kevin, you want to hit us with the chant?
Yes. You guys ready for the chant? We want y'all to get ready. Now get your chant fingers ready. Get your chant fingers ready. Let's go. So our chant for today is, we bear much fruit when we listen and obey God. Let's go.
Yeah, so repeat after us, right? I'll say it, then you say it. We bear much fruit when we listen and obey God.
I think I want to say that again. I think it was so good. Let me say, we bear much fruit when we listen and obey God.
All right, why don't we all say it together on the count of three?
There we go.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
We bear much fruit when we listen and obey God.
All right.
Peace.